morning students, myself Priyanka Joshi from Art and Progressive School, Haldwani. I am your science teacher. So let's start with today's topic. Today's topic is the fundamental unit of life. What is the fundamental unit of life? Cell. Cell is the fundamental unit of life. As you all know, all plants and animals are made up of cells. So cell is the
Cell is the
basic
structural and functional unit of life
unit
because
of
whole
living
body is made up
organisms.
of cell. It is known as fundamental unit of life because all functions regulates inside the cell. As you all knows, all living organisms including plants and animals are composed of cells. These cells become specialized to form different functions, specialized functions after division. There are generally two types of cells, prokaryotic cell and the another one is eukaryotic cell. The first one is prokaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cells are generally smaller in size than the eukaryotic cell. They are poorly developed, no nuclear membrane and called as nucleoids. The single chromosome is present in prokaryotic cell. Nucleolus is altogether absent. The membrane bound cell organelles are not present in prokaryotic cells. They are found in bacteria, blue-green algae, etc. Now, the eukaryotic cells are more complex than the prokaryotic cell. They are generally larger in size. They have well-defined nucleus and the membrane-bound cell organelles are present in the eukaryotic cell. It is present in animal cell. The eukaryotic cells are found in fungi, plants and animals. The organisms according to the cellular organization are of two types, unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular organisms are composed of only one type of cell and the multicellular are composed of many cells. For example, plants, animals and human beings are come under multicellular organisms. The structure of cell. Cells are made up of components called the cell organism. A cell is capable to live and perform all their respective functions due to the presence of cell organelles. The another is the cell wall. It is a tough non-living covering outside the plasma membrane. It is found in plant and fungal cells. It is mainly made up of cellulose, a complex substance that provides structural strength to the plants. Cell wall permits the cell of plants, fungi and bacteria to withstand hypotonic conditions without bursting. Now, the plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell. It is living, thin and delicate covering of the cell. It separates the content of the cell from its external environment. Now, the functions of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane allows the entry and exit of some selective materials in and out of the cell. It helps to maintain the shape of the cell. It acts as a mechanical barrier and protects the internal content of the cell from leaking out. It provides protection against microbes and foreign substances. It gets modified to perform different functions, for example, microvilli in intestine of human beings for absorption. Its semi-permeability enables the cell to maintain cellular homeostasis. Now, the transport across the membranes takes place by two methods. First is diffusion. Diffusion is the spontaneous movement of substances that are solid, liquid, or gases from a region of its higher concentration to a region of its lower concentration. Diffusion is faster in the gases than in liquids and solids. It plays an important role in gaseous exchange between the cells and also between the cells and its external environment. Now, the another transport across the membrane is by osmosis. The osmosis is the movement of water molecules through a selectively permeable membrane along the concentration gradient is called osmosis. The movement of water across the plasma membrane is also affected by the amount of substances dissolved in water. Osmosis is also defined as the movement of water molecules from a region of its higher concentration to a region of its lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. The process of osmosis can be seen in all cells placed in a solution of different concentration. There are different types of solution. First is hypotonic solution. It is the medium or solution surrounding the cell has high water concentration as compared to inside of the cell. The cell gain water and swells up by the process endosmosis. Next is isotonic solution. In this, the medium surrounding a cell has same concentration of water as that present inside the cell. In this, water crosses the cell membrane in both the directions. Now the next is hypertonic solution. In this, the medium surrounding a cell has a lower concentration of water than the cell that is outside solution is very concentrated. Next is plasmolysis. Plasmolysis is the phenomenon by which a plant cell shrinks away from the cell wall when it loses water by osmosis. In this, a living plant cell loses water through osmosis when kept in hypertonic solution. It which results in either the shrinkage or concentration of protoplasm away from the cell wall. Now, the difference between the diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion occurs in any state, that is solid, liquid or gases, but osmosis occurs only in a liquid medium. Now, diffusion does not require any selective membrane, that is semi-permeable membrane, but osmosis always takes place through a semi-permeable membrane. This figure shows the differences between the animal cell and the plant cell. Animal cells are generally small in size, whereas the plant cells are usually larger than the animal cells. The cell wall is absent in case of animal cell, whereas the cell wall is present in case of plant cell. The plastids are absent in animal cell except euglena. The plastids are present in case of plant cells. The vacuoles are smaller in size in animal cell, whereas in plant cells the vacuoles are larger in size. Students, thanks for your watching. This is all about today's topic. The rest topics should be continued in the next video. Thanks a lot.